So this week I'm thinking, what subject do I make a video on? I'm thinking all the different kind of photography styles and topics, lots of things that I could choose from. And then a thought comes to me. I figure if I want to know what kind of questions photographers are asking, what they're interested in, why don't I just Google it? So onto the computer I go and I type in one word: photography. And now the autofill is going to follow that word with all the suggestions based on what people around the world are searching for in photography right now. And what happened next shocked me, because you know, the top 6 suggested questions were all variations on the very same question. And that question was, how do I make money with my photography? So let's see if we can answer that. It's a great question. How do you make money out of your photography? It's the holy grail, isn't it? I mean, if photography is your passion, then what better than being able to do it every single day and get paid for it? Even make a living out of it. That is the dream, right? So how do you do that? It seems obvious, really, doesn't it? I mean, you go out with your camera, you take a really nice photo, one that makes you proud, and then you sell the photo and you've made money. Well, yes, in an ideal world, that's a really great plan. But unfortunately, it's not an ideal world. Selling photos is frankly not as simple as that. So I'm going to share something with you now. The golden ticket, if you like, the secret that pro photographers know. The thing that makes selling photos easier. And it's this: if you want to sell photos, then when it comes to capturing images, you're going to need to work backwards. Let me explain. A number of years ago, I did a little bit of teaching. It was at night classes. I fancied dabbling with film and chemicals again, and they'd got dark rooms, and I fancied giving a bit back. So I offered to share some of my experience as a guest lecturer, and the colleges were only too pleased to invite me in to have a go. So anyway, one day I'm leading a tutorial, and one of the students in that group, they were all mature students, by the way, because it was, as I say, a night class. One student said to me, "I don't know how you ever make money from your photography. I have tried for years, so many times, to sell images, and there is just too much competition." And that intrigued me. So I delved a little bit more. What this guy, who was incidentally a very talented photographer, what he was doing was wandering around taking photos as normal. And when he got one that he was particularly pleased with, he sent it off to a photography magazine in the hope of being picked out for publication. And he'd receive a nice little check back. I think, as I recall, they were offering, it's going back a bit, but they were offering $200 an image back then if they printed your picture. And his plan was to sell a couple of pictures each month. He knew his pictures were as good as the ones he'd seen in the magazine, and hey presto, he's got a nice little earner. Trouble was, he didn't get any pictures published, and so he didn't make any money. And what did he put that down to? Well, he put it down to competition. Too much competition. And I think he was right. With people all over the world submitting photos to this magazine and only a limited number of images picked each month, the chances of his image being picked was really slim. There was always going to be somebody who had witnessed a better lighting condition that month, incredible weather, incredible, interesting people. And so he gave up submitting photos, and he never made a penny. And giving up, well, that was his mistake. You see, what I think he should have done, and what all good pros know he should have done, was to work backwards. And that means finding a buyer for your photo before, that's the interesting word, before you go out to take the photo. You see, lots of people need photography and they can't find it. Lots of photographers need buyers and they can't find them. So, put simply, we just need to put those two groups together. To demonstrate this, I asked the student to bring in a copy of one of the magazines that he'd been trying to submit his pictures to. And so, a week later, he comes in armed with this really, really nice quality photography magazine. And I have a look through. And the work begins. We started leafing through the magazine, looking at the different sections. And pretty soon he showed me the gallery of readers' images that he had been trying to sell his pictures to. But we moved past that. And then we came across a really interesting section, the photo clinic section. This was an article in every single magazine where the editors got together and they looked at the readers' photos and gave advice on how that photo could have been improved to make it just a little bit better. So I said very quickly to him, look, if you want to sell your photos, send one to that section, to the photo clinic. It's going to be much harder for them to find images to talk about than the readers' gallery. He wasn't convinced. I needed to prove the point. So what we did was this. I took a photo of a harbour in a beautiful golden hour. It was a stunning image, except for one thing. I left some lobster pots and messy ropes in the foreground just on the left-hand side. You'd have cropped them out if you were there, if you were taking a picture. They wouldn't have been anywhere near. But I left them in, and I sent it to the photo clinic. From the moment I sent it, I pretty much knew that I'd pocketed $200. You see, that photo clinic desperately needed photos that were good, that were almost there, but not quite, where there was one simple mistake that had been made. And if they corrected it, if they pointed it out, they could show their readers what they need to do to make it a great picture. Then I was giving them what they wanted. Sure enough, a week later, the phone call came in. Oh, hello, this is the magazine. We'd like to use your photo in our photo clinic. And can you sign this document to say that you don't mind having it done? Oh, and by the way, we're going to give you $200 to use the photo. Yeah, I know. So what we'd done is the old professional photography trick. We found the market. We found out who needed the picture, and then we went out and took it. You see, it's backwards. It's opposite to what most photographers do. Most photographers take the photo and then try and find a market for it. But pros, no, they don't do that. You know, they do it the other way round. They find the market, then they go out and search for the photo. And this applies to anything. You know, you can open up a magazine and see a picture, an ad, let's say for a company, and they've got their building picture, you know, pictured on the ad, and it's truly an awful photo. Well, there's a market. Go out and take an awesome photo of that building and then go and put it in front of the company next to the one they're using. And guess what? They will probably buy it. You've done all the hard work for them. Newspapers and websites, they love, I don't know, love weather events, for instance. So if there's an extreme weather event about to happen, get ready with your camera. And when the snow comes, for instance, get out there, take pictures, get them the pictures that they want. I don't know, people digging themselves out of the snow, people stuck in their cars. Get straight onto the newspapers or the websites and put them in front of them, and there's a good chance that they'll buy them because they can't have their staff photographers everywhere. They can't be in every area. So cover one of the areas for them. They'll probably buy them. That guy in your street, the one with the great classic vintage Corvette, find an outlet for a photo of a Corvette, search the website, search the magazines, and if you can find an outlet, go and ask the guy, say, hey, can I come and take a photo free of charge of your car or you and your car? And he's likely to say yes. And then you can give them a copy of the picture as a thank you, and you can make some money when you sell the pictures. Look, these are just random examples. I'm making them up at the top of my head, but I think you can see a pattern. I think you can see what I'm doing, working backwards. You find the market for your picture and then you go out and get the picture. And if you do that, then you will start making money with your photographs. It's really just down to the very, very simple supply and demand. Don't try and sell your photos where there's a low demand and a high supply. No. You want to find somewhere that has a high demand and low supply. And when you have made a bit of money with your photos and you're feeling great, they're there in print and you've got some cash, leave a comment down below on this video. Please, please tell us about it. In fact, while I'm on that subject, if I could just say, if you find this video or any other that I've ever made on my channel good or interesting, funny or educational or just plain a load of old tosh, please leave a comment. I don't mind what it is, but please, YouTube loves a conversation. And comments are just one way that you can help me to show the algorithm that folks are actually watching, and that really, really does help me to grow the channel. Now, before I go, just one thing I want to say, and that is if you are going to go out and sell your pictures, if you're going to present them to people in the hope of making a sale, there is one little thing that a lot of photographers do that makes their images pop, that makes them stand out from the crowd. And I think if you do this one simple thing, you will sell more photos. It's really easy. I've got a video about it. And if you want to discover the benefits of this one simple little presentation trick that can make all the difference in selling your pictures, then check out this next video here. It really is going to be worth it.